I now want to turn the conversation towards the future of eDiplomacy. And some countries have followed state and are starting to adopt eDiplomacy tools, whereas others, like Australia's Foreign Ministry, for example, have tended to try and resist the take-up of eDiplomacy. I'm wondering whether you think that it's inevitable the foreign ministries will have to start using these tools, or is it possible to sort of just quarantine this issue and leave it to one side?
Look, I think that it's very difficult to quarantine it. As a very practical matter, I don't think that you need to care about technology to be an expert in foreign policy. Look, I was a medieval history major. I really don't care about technology per se. I care about our foreign policy interests. However, if you do care about stewarding your country's foreign policy interests, you better, I would say it's advisable to be attentive to that which is most disrupting power structure, geopolitical power structures right now, and that is the internet, that is other connection technologies. So I think that some governments will engage in this earlier and more aggressively than others. Those that absolutely refuse to engage, I think that the consequence will be reduced influence and reduced power.
Now, at the State Department, your boss, Secretary Clinton, has been dubbed the godmother of 21st century statecraft. But she's also indicated that she's not going to be staying on for another term. Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering, does that mean that eDiplomacy efforts at state are going to suffer, or how do you see eDiplomacy going forward at the State Department?
Sure, so let me break this into two pieces. So first, I think that Hillary Clinton's departure is a big deal, because I think that she has been a very, very powerful Secretary of State. She's a muscular Secretary of State. And one of the issues that she's put her throw weight behind is 21st century statecraft, modernizing our diplomacy. So her departing could mean a great deal across a variety of issues. You could question whether the empowerment of women and girls is going to remain a foreign policy priority. You could question the degree to which 21st century statecraft is going to remain a foreign policy priority. What I think, what my best guess is that this is tied to much broader shifts in geopolitical power, and whomever succeeds her is going to have to continue to make the investments and continue to bring the focus to modernizing our diplomacy that Secretary Clinton has, because whomever her successor will also be attentive to making sure that the United States is as strong as possible.
Now, just to wrap it up, state at the moment is by far and away the world leader in the use of eDiplomacy. But of course, it hasn't been spread across the entire department yet, and it's not fully integrated or baked in, as you said. What do you see as the biggest challenge to really integrating eDiplomacy seamlessly across the department?
We're just so sprawling. Think about the nature of the State Department. We have a physical presence in just about every country on planet Earth. We have 60,000 people who are spread all over the place. We are also a very tradition-bound institution. Nothing is more tradition-bound that I've ever worked at than the State Department. So I think it's really two things. One, just the massive geographic sweep of our work, and two, trying to drive and address an aggressive change agenda through a very tradition-bound institution. Now, having said that, if you actually look at our progress over the last 3 years, it's pretty shocking. It's been rather transformative in a short period of time, but you can't take a sort of utopian view of these things. You can't just say, Madam Secretary dubs it, therefore we will be digital, and that then happens overnight. I think that this is something that is going to need an additional 3 to 5 years for it to be truly institutionalized.